Hello, church. Today is Tuesday and July 14. And I want to take a little time to talk to you because we have some exciting news, and I also want us to prepare as we move forward. As of tomorrow, July 15, we have received the authorization to reopen our facilities after a long process of scrutiny and checks and submitting papers and working with the trustees and all the leaders. We are okay to reopen our facilities, which means that this Sunday, the 19th, July 19th, we will have our first hybrid worship service. And that's what I want to talk to you about it. Hybrid worship service. What that means? That means that we're able to have some people here in our sanctuary, and we're also going to provide our online worship service as we have been doing for the last 4 months. So as we are going through this process, I know that there is a lot of anxiety out there. And let me begin by saying I understand how difficult this has been. I understand how stressful this has been. Even for me, this is, I use the word unprecedented. I have never imagined myself having to be a pastor in the midst of a pandemic like the one that we are living. So I want to begin by saying the fact that we're opening our facilities does not mean that the pandemic is over. Coronavirus is still out there. There's still a lot of cases in our country. There's still a lot of deaths in our country. Right now in Connecticut, we are one of the few states with a low rate of contagious, transmission. That's how they call it, low rate transmission. That doesn't mean that it's zero. It means that the rate is still kind of controlled. And that is important to know because if you do decide to come to church on Sunday, you need to realize that you're taking a risk and it's your decision. No one is asking you to come. No one is asking you not to come. We're just putting out there the information, and you need to decide if you're ready to come. Now, my hope is that you're going to join us regardless, whether you're staying at home and watching us online, or if you decide to come to our Saturday, you're going to be with us, worshiping with us as a community of faith. And that is important, that we realize that our facility doesn't make the church. The church is all of us together gathering in the name of Christ to do the ministry of Christ. So that's the plan. Now I'm going to go over some of the questions that I have had in the last few weeks and days. So hopefully I'm going to answer all your questions, but if you have more questions after this, please reach out. Question number 1. If the church open, do I need to come? And the answer is not. The fact that the facilities are open doesn't mean that you have to come. You need to assess what is your degree of what they're calling risk, high risk, how high risk you feel you are, and if you are comfortable to come to church or not. Now, this is very important. If you do decide to come, you're going to be expected to follow our procedures 100% all the time. And the procedures are going to be very strict because our first goal is to keep everyone safe, everyone as safe as possible within a pandemic, right? So if you feel that you're not ready to come, we're going to honor that. We're going to still miss you, but please keep connected through our online service and through phones and all those things that we have done so far. Second question, I am over 65. That means I cannot come to church. That's not what the protocol says. The protocol says that the recommendation of the CDC is that people that are over 65 or with underlying health condition are to a highest risk if they get this virus. If you are over 65 but you feel that you're okay to come, no one is going to stop you. You're always going to be welcome in our church. So it's up to you. That's what I'm saying. So you also have a reference. I'm 46, but I have asthma, which is one of the underlying conditions. So for me, there is a highest risk to be out there than maybe for someone else that is 46. So this goes for case to case, and it's very important that you as an informed adult make the decision of coming to church or staying to worship at home. Either decision is okay and is what is good for you, and that's what we're saying. So if you're over 65 and you want to join us, you're more than welcome. If you're still nervous or don't know, you also can stay at home and worship from home. What about children and youth? As always, our church has open hearts for children and youth, and we want children in the congregation and we want youth to be part of the community. Just know that because of the conditions right now, we cannot have children running around or youth running around. The rule is a family comes together and stay together for the duration of the service. That means you're going to sit together, you're going to be together. If we have a family with the small kids, only one family at the time can use our crying room. We need to prevent cross-contamination as much as possible. So if you want to come with your children or your youth, we are more than happy to have them. Just make sure that families stay together. People that live in the same house are sitting together, and we don't have anyone wandering. There are going to be many of our areas that are going to be blocked off. There are going to be many pews that you're going to see that are going to be blocked off. Your family needs to stay together, and make sure that if you have small children with you, you bring whatever is going to be good for them to have to keep themselves entertained, maybe a coloring book or something that will allow them to focus in something while we're all in worship together. When it comes to children's sermons are also going to be limited, the contact. The kids, we're going to have children's sermons, but the children need to stay with their families. We're not going to be calling them on front as we used to. Everyone stay seated, everyone stay where they're supposed to be, and we're going to reduce contact. Cleaning. There's been a lot of questions about sanitization and cleaning. And again, let me say that the church is doing the best that we can right now to clean and sanitize our facilities. You may be aware that a couple of weeks ago we have all the carpets, every single carpet in the facility clean, professionally clean. We're going to be doing sanitizations after each service or after each time that we gather together. We're doing that and we're trying the best that we can. However, we cannot guarantee 100% and all the time that we're going to have it right. We trustees have make sure that we have enough hand sanitizers, that we have enough masks if you don't have your own mask. We have ordered a machine that is going to help us to sanitize a little quicker. We have done all these preventive measures. The important thing is that we all need to help here. If you're in our facility, first of all, we ask that any group that is going to use our facilities, they have to contact Lisa Pachetti and they have to get together with her not only the time that you're going to use the church, but which rooms and the plans for disinfecting. We all going to have to pitch in to make sure that all the high the working areas, all the high touch areas are well cleaned after the use. So that is with the cleaning. Chuck, our custodian, is going to still doing his job. He's going to still come several times a week to clean after us, but I ask you that if you are coming to the building, please let Lisa know. We can't have people walking in and out freely anymore until this pandemic is over. We need to know which rooms have been used or who has been here in the building at all times. Let me talk to you a little about ushers. The role of the ushers had changed significantly in the last 4 months. The ushers are really going to set the tone and it's going to help us to continue all those protocols through the service. So when you come to church on Sunday mornings, you're going to see that you actually going to have to come in through the East Main Street entrance, the entrance that is next to the office. And there are markers, so you keep those 6 feet apart as you wait to come in. And the ushers are going to ask for your name and they're going to check your name off a list because we need to have a clear list of everyone that has been in the building at any time. This is very important. And the reason that this is important is if there is an outbreak, If someone that was here on a Sunday, on Wednesday comes COVID-19 positive, I need to be able to contact you and let you know so you contact your doctor. So your name is going to be asked. There's going to be a check of the list. The ushers are actually going to guide you to your seat. And once you're in your seat, we're hoping that people are going to stay put as much as possible because, again, we want to try to prevent cross-contamination, people going to different places that, touching things or getting too close to one another. You'll see in the sanctuary that some of the pews are blocked off. Those pews, you cannot use them. We have to use only 25% capacity of our sanctuary, which means that we can only seat about 80 people at this point, which is okay. We'll deal with that. But we also need to keep 6 feet of separation between any family groups that don't live together. So that responsibility is going to fall into the ushers. I ask you, I urge you that you pay attention to them, that you follow instruction, that if an usher comes to you and reminds you of wearing your mask or keep the 6 feet distance, you are honor that, because the consequences of us not doing it are really, really dangerous. So we're all going to have to help one another with that. The order of service, that's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. The order of service is going to change a little. My hope is that we're going to keep it under an hour, because whoever is here are going to have to use a mask for an hour. And if you have been doing this, like when I'm here in the office, now I'm alone, that's why I have my mask off. But when there's other people in the office, I have to wear a mask. Right now I'm wearing this one. This is my mask for today that actually was given to me. So being with a mask all the time, what happens is you get hot, or some people has a little more trouble breathing. And that is, there's nothing that we can do about it, but we can aim to shorten a little the service, to change it a little. So we are in the sanctuary close to an hour, a little less than an hour, and then people will go home and take the mask off. So that is what we're doing. The other important thing to remind you is we cannot sing together. There will not be congregational singing, because all the studies show that when we speak or when we sing, all these particles go out, and it's very dangerous. So Joe is going to still play the music for us, and maybe we may have a soloist or something like that, but we cannot sing. All those things are going to look different in our worship service. So I ask you that you're patient with us as we just try new things, and it's going to be a lot of trial, error, and changes until we get it right. So just, go with it, and remember that the most important thing is not the order that we do things, but that our heart is worshiping God. And that is what we're trying to do here together. Let me keep thinking. Visitations. So this week I began visiting people again. And the visitations also are going to look a little different. We're still very limited in terms of what we can do in hospital and nursing homes. Most hospitals and nursing homes are really, they're allowing maybe one person a day or something like that. And I don't want to take a family member's place when there's so much restriction. So this is what we need to do. If you want to visit from me, you need to let me know. You really need to call my cell phone or call the office. And you need to expect that when I'm with you, I'm going to be 6 feet apart. I'm going to be wearing my mask. I'm going to do all the things that our protocol asks me to do, because I care and I love you too much to bring you anything to put you in danger. So I'm happy to meet with people. I'm happy to go to someone's houses, or if available, a nursing home or a hospital. Just let me know and I'll make the arrangements. And I just expect me to be in full, protection gear, because I think protecting each other is much more important than a visitation. I will continue to make phone calls and emails and cards and all those other things too. But the important thing is that you need to let me know. I really cannot guess who needs what at any given moment. So if there's someone that is struggling, this is someone that is feeling a little more lonely, let me know and we'll figure something out. So all that I want to finish to say that before Sunday, for those who are ready to come to worship here, I really want you to read the protocol that was sent to you. We send them on an email, and we send them on mail for those who we have the address. Read it, because it's important that we all follow the rules. This is not just to make our life more difficult. This is to keep our congregation protected. The main commandment that Jesus gave us was to love our God with all our hearts, our minds, and our soul. And he said, and love your neighbor as yourself. Loving our neighbors right now means to try to protect each other from a very serious disease that can cause a lot of damage. So I ask you to be mindful of others. I ask you that, to refrain to do the things that are so natural to us, like hug and kiss and shake hands. We won't have any of that. No one is allowed to touch other person that is not living in the same household. We're not going to be able to have fellowship afterwards yet. There are many things that are going to feel weird. But if you're willing to let all that go and come to church, make sure you wear your mask all the time. Make sure that as soon as you enter into the building, use one of our hand sanitizers stations and clean your hands. Make sure that if you are not feeling well, if you have any symptoms, even if you are not sure of what you have, you stay home. We know the symptoms of COVID are fever and cough, and you lose the sense of smell, but now they're finding other things too. So if you're not feeling well, stay home, contact your doctor before you come. If you're unsure about this whole thing, stay home. If you don't think that you can follow protocols, stay home. No one is going to get upset because you're not here next Sunday. Everybody understands that this is a personal decision, and we all trying to do the best that we can as we move forward. Finally, I want to say that I miss you all. I miss you terribly. You are my people, and it's very hard to do this through this, online, and it's very hard. But your safety is so much important to me than me missing you. So be safe, be smart about, be, mindful of the times that we're living and all the craziness that is around us. I have found that in the last several weeks, people seem to be more edgy. I think we're all getting tired of this. We're all getting tired of the pandemic and all the restrictions. So be loving with one another, be kind with one another. If you need me, contact me, call me, text me, email me. You have all that information. I will be happy to, in any way that you are comfortable, try to support you. And also know that as we go, one of the learnings that I have had is that these things change from week to week. There were weeks during this pandemic that I had some instructions on Monday that changed again on Wednesday and changed again on Friday. We are not in times to set anything in stone. Right now, we're in times that every day bring us something new. So the fact that we're opening our facility on Sunday doesn't mean that we will keep it open. We need to see, or that we will keep doing the same thing. Every Sunday, it may look a little different, and I need you to be patient with that. Right now, we are in a learning mode. We're learning new technology. We're learning to do things completely different of what it was our normal, and that's going to take time. So we'll take Sunday, we'll see what worked, we'll see what didn't work, and adjust. Also know that if I see that the protocol is being broke, and for example, if people are not wearing their mask, or people are hugging in the service, or things like that, I am under obligation to stop the service and send everyone home. So please don't make my job harder. Follow the protocols. If you're here, just follow the protocols, follow the ushers, follow instructions, and we're gonna be okay. I look forward to continue to worship with you. I will look forward to connect with you online or in person in the next few days and weeks. I look forward to hear from you. Know that I pray for you always. Know that I am just so privileged to be your pastor, and I know that we're gonna get through this together, because when 2 or 3 are gathered together, God is in their midst. God is with us. God is gonna guide us, and God is going to help us through it. So trust in God, love one another, and hopefully I'll see you all on Sunday, whether it is online or here in the sanctuary, let's be church together. Bye.